for quantum secure in practice?
Well, the real thing that you have to be very careful about is a blockchain is a ledger of transactions. And so if a bad person could go into that ledger and, take some coins away from me and give them to you just by kind of like changing the counting on the ledger, then that actually means that you have those coins and I no longer have them. There's no kind of cross verification. So you have to be very careful that the history of transactions of the chain cannot be tampered with. That's the most important component of quantum security. And that's what we have focused a lot of time on. And we've been quantum secure that way for almost 5 years now.
Well, $200 billion is a lot of capital. This is a very big buy. We're very excited about it. We've already begun executing upon it. I don't want to talk too much about how we're staggering it or what we're going to be doing, but this is also in the best interest of the American people, and it is in the best interest of the Fannie and Freddie team as well, because why? These mortgage securities actually yield a higher result, and we feel very confident in the mortgage underwriting standards that the companies have post the Great Recession. Under President Trump, we are running Fannie and Freddie like businesses, and that's why we have the flexibility to do this and feel very confident that it's going to be safe and sound, while also having the effects, like you said, of lowering mortgage rates. I mean, to be in the 5% range and half of the 5 handle, that's huge, Kelly. Nobody thought that was possible.
We know these levels are psychologically important, but so you are preparing these agencies to go public, and you think that directing them to buy more mortgage-backed securities is consistent with that. But if it's good business, why haven't they been doing it already?
Absolutely. Well, that's a good question. Why haven't they done it already? Why didn't the Biden administration put everybody years after COVID and order them back into Fannie and Freddie's offices? Why did the Biden administration have so much inflation? I can't answer these questions. I can just tell you we have a president who is a commander-in-chief, but as a builder-in-chief, he is laser-focused on housing, Kelly. We're going to keep housing prices high, but we're going to make things more affordable. And that's what the American people voted him in for. Yeah. And you see that today with the mortgage rates being with the 5 handle. This is a very big deal. This, coupled with the ban on institutional investors buying, which I believe will happen, this is going to be very big. This is a big 1-2 punch this week, and there's more to come.
One more, and then I'll move off of this topic. But there are many on Wall Street who are somewhat confused because I've seen reactions that say, oh, obviously they're not going to IPO these companies now. Obviously the president is pleased that they haven't done so. And yet you're saying that this is part of a plan to IPO them. And I wonder if that's because you want to make sure that the losses go on to investors and not onto taxpayers if anything, goes wrong. But can you just clarify the intentions? This is definitely an effort, even though they're being kind of marshaled to support a policy initiative. It's part of an effort to take them public.
I'm just saying that they're not. I'm just saying that they're not mutually exclusive. You can take them public if the president decides to do that, and it may actually help the IPO, and you can also look out for the American people. So it's a good use of cash, and it helps the American people. It's a very good thing as far as I'm concerned.
So the White House here saying that this was an inadvertent release and saying that they are going to go back and review their protocols here. Kelly, that's interesting because all of the rules around this are BLS and Department of Labor rules, and the president, being the boss of the Department of Labor and BLS, can sort of authorize release as he wants to of that data. So not clear that he violated any particular rule here, given that he is the ultimate authority on what is authorized to be released and what is not. But still, the White House says they're going to go back and look at their protocols. And it looks like this is an effort to make sure it doesn't happen again, Kelly.
Yeah, no, kudos to those who spotted it at the time. And it goes back to the old line in markets, which was, if I told you the jobs board ahead of time, could you guess the right trade?
Right. We all think we could, but maybe not.
Yeah, maybe some people did make money on it. That might be part of this as well.
I don't know.
I thought it was certainly not a strong report. If you look at the employment numbers, that's true for the latest 50,000, a little bit less than expected, and the downward revisions. So if you look at the last 6 months, we've created like 15,000 jobs per month. That's obviously quite weak. And that probably will be revised down because the benchmark revisions are likely to take another chunk out of that.
So what do you think the Fed does?
So I think the Fed does nothing.
In January, but then what?
I think we've probably saw the last cut in this tenure for Chair Powell. I think they will expect that they will think that, quote, well-positioned. You'll hear that phrase over and over, we're well-positioned to wait. And then the question becomes, how much influence does the next Fed chair have, and how quickly?
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have quantum computing, supercomputers. And they're going to become more and more of a topic over these next few years, not just for security purposes, but they'll be able to change your reality. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, only thing you have to do is look at Trump's 6G executive order. You take 6G, you take quantum computing, you add in all these machines, they'll be able to run the economy without a human involved, but then also make the virtual world seem reality. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And I went over this in the earlier video today. We have Trump wanting Fannie Mae and Freddie to spend $200 billion on mortgage-backed securities. And even though she brought up the risk, she didn't ask, where is this $200 billion coming from? And we know that's the security blanket. And if you don't have a security blanket, that risk goes up tenfold. And somebody's going to take the hit. And we know it's always the people. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, it is unbelievable what they're able to get away with right now. But we clearly see the jobs market is getting weak and is going to get even weaker. And majority of people's wealth is in their home. And if your house is not paid for, of course you're working or doing something in order to keep that roof over your head. And this is the exact reason why I keep telling you, get back with the creator so therefore you can start creating. Because you do not, and I mean you do not want to rely on the government. Because you own nothing and they want you to be happy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we had Trump releasing jobs data Thursday evening. But guys, we know Trump is definitely not running his own social media account. Remember, it's a plan that moves in phases. Nothing happens by chance. And we know who benefited. But the fact is that these jobs numbers, again, just keep getting weaker and weaker. And we know the Fed right now is stuck. They're not going to lower rates because Japan is going to be on the move. And Jerome Powell will be riding off in the sun as this economy starts to break down. And we have the Supreme Court supposed to give us news in regards to tariffs today. We'll sit back, get our popcorn, and let it play out. And as this economy slowly gets weaker and weaker, we know it's going to be the rise of the machines because they have no problem with finding an extra $500 billion for defense. And we know that's going to the machines. Hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in data centers. So the fact is they're still printing money off this printing press. And they're handing it out to the builders of this fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Policies, of the administration. One has been tariffs. You mentioned, of course, a trade deficit that we haven't seen this low since 2009. That may well get reversed. In fact, even hours from now. We don't know how the Supreme Court is going to rule, but I am curious as to how the administration is thinking about it. Should that come as a reversal of their authority under IEPA, and what you would do or the administration would do to continue those policies?
Right. Well, certainly there's a high level of confidence that the Supreme Court's going to side with us. We think that we're really on firm ground. But I know you expect us to say that. And so then the question is, well, what if we're wrong about that? And it's important to think about that, too. There was a big call last night with all the principals to talk about if the Supreme Court were to rule against this IEPA tariff, what would the next step be? And Jameson Greer is all over it. There are a lot of other legal authorities that can reproduce the deals that we've made with other countries. And
we got that first ride after Waymo had logged 10 million miles.
10 million miles, and you were the first television journalist in that car with the film crew riding around the streets of Phoenix in our Pacifica. That was fourth-generation technology then. Waymo's now on the 5th generation technology. That's how they've gotten to 120 million miles of fully autonomous driving, 20 million rides delivered so far. And the thing I'm most proud of, Liz, we've done that with a 10x safety improvement over human drivers. And when you and I were talking way back when, 7 years ago, that was sort of a dream, you know? We wanted to be better, but how could we be 10 times better? We didn't know.
It does come, as Kelly, you were talking about earlier, Meta announcing deals tied to more than 6 gigawatts of nuclear power. So all of this really just underlines the all-out energy demand we see from AI, this race to build infrastructure. The partner also builds on OpenAI's Stargate initiative. Remember that with SoftBank as well and Oracle. They're planning to spend up to $500 billion on AI data centers. So this is part of it. Should also mention SoftBank has invested $41 billion into OpenAI, Kelly.
We're going to have tremendous workforce availability. We're also going to have robots helping us. We're going to have a lot of robots helping us because we need it. And because we're going to town, we're building a lot between the AI and the auto plants. So we're going to need robots. We're going to have robots, but that's going to help us.
Robots hold steady hands in the operating room. And drones are redefining the future of war. Innovations of first-generation humanoids, factory automation, and autonomous vehicles have surged from private sector investment. Every one of these advancements is powered by AI. The robots are here. Our future is no longer science fiction.
Maybe crypto is actually built for the machines and we didn't even know it. And AI can easily handle private keys and easily understands transaction hashes and like how all this stuff works. It is money that is built for computers, even before the computers to intelligently handle it were built. So I find that interesting. And, perhaps those of us who were involved in crypto pre-AI were kind of just like getting the ground ready for the AI systems to have a fully developed financial system handed to them, for better or worse.
This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology.
And as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that.
I think stablecoins could reinforce dollar supremacy, because with stablecoins could end up being one of the largest buyers of U.S. treasuries or T-bills. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, if you are using a stablecoin in Nigeria that's backed by the U.S. dollar, you don't actually have to have dollars. It's on your phone. You can transact.
We are going big on digital assets. So Trump administration has made digital assets a priority. I've seen estimates that just over the short term, stablecoins could create $2 trillion of demand for U.S. treasuries and treasury bills. To put that in context, the number is probably about $300 billion right now.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems.
The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain, because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it. We're just ironing out all the details so we can do it.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you can reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services. It'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. But with today's announcement, we take a major step to bring healthcare into the digital age. Instead of filling out the same tedious paperwork at every medical appointment, patients will simply be able to grant their doctors access to their records at the push of a button. Just a button and you're all set, and all the information the doctor needs will be immediately transmitted.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
If we could tokenize all our ETFs, all $5.3 trillion of our ETFs, and provide that in a digital wallet, you could seamlessly, without fees, going from a digital currency or a stable coin or whatever that may be in your digital wallet and buy bond or stocks. And I believe that is going to be the future.
I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks. It's coming. And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. Yeah. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenized bonds and stocks.
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID-33. China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.